Tonight on Minecraft Mob Battles, the series rebooted, the Enderman, the Teleportation Masters, once again return for our final regular battle in Season 1 for today, and also for the only time for this season on Llano. Well, so we facing off against our main competitor, who is our main target, well, really, for at the moment for this season, of course, is the Spiders Poisonous Cousins who debuted back in episode 24, the Cave Spiders on Ecru, and now with much stronger numbers. So, who do you think? Will the Teleportation Masters still be able to outnumber, well, not really, the Ecru Cave Spiders, alias the Poisonous Scuttlers on Ecru today? Stay tuned to find out, as this is Minecraft Mob Battles, the series rebooted. Good evening to all of you monsters in the crowd today here at the Monster Battle Arena, and welcome to this week's episode. Yes, we're only doing one episode for our next 2 weeks of Minecraft Mob Battles, the series rebooted. I'm your host Turbine and your co-host OC Blob, and yes, this is of course our only episode for this week, because obviously this is actually our second to last episode of season 1, so we got to get episode 30 done pretty quick because it's almost the end of the summer holidays. So yeah, so we are probably expecting this episode to, we're probably expecting our next episode, which is going to be our season finale, to be done next Friday. So yeah, so do stay tuned for that. But nevertheless though, before that, you still have this episode to watch, of course, which is obviously the episode we're currently doing now. So yes, and speaking of which, this episode today is season 1, episode 29, and it's going to be Enderman versus Cave Spiders. So yes, so once again, the Cave Spiders are going to be our main targeted competitor for Ecru still. Yes, we're still fighting on Ecru because that's their home team. And they're going to be fighting against our strongest mob in Season 1 so far, that being the Endermen. So yes. And this also means it will be the strongest mob versus the weakest mob, because it's 40 health points versus 12 health points. So do expect a bunch of Cave Spiders to be on Ecru for like all the later rounds. So yeah, we'll probably even get into the 30s for the Cave Spiders in round 10 if I'm right. So yeah, do stay tuned for an intense battle for the more later rounds because of the giant cave spider colonies fighting against the Enderman. And last time when a spider mob was fighting the Enderman, that being on, of course, Spider vs Enderman, the spiders actually did win, so maybe the cave spiders might be having an advantage here, just like their non-poisonous cousins from the previous episode when spiders were fighting the Endermen. So yeah, we'll just have to find out though. Okay, thank you for that. It is now time to begin this episode with round 1. On Llano, we have just one Enderman with 40 health points, and yes, they'll use the regular scheme with just adding one Enderman per round, so that's 40 health points total for Llano. And then they're going to go against, on Ecru, we have 4 cave spiders with 12 points each, so that's 48 health points total. And yes, I remember on Spider vs Enderman, we had 3 spiders versus 1 Enderman first, which was also 48 health points for them, so yeah, that's why we have 4 cave spiders in this round first, so yes. Okay, thank you for that. It's now time to begin gigantic battle episode. That's what I'll basically call it. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, and fight. Okay, Endermen's at the ready. Watch out. Okay, they all notice it. You see, they are still trying to fight in there. Let's see if the cave spiders can actually regain their ground. Oh, he sniped one of them. Wow. He got confused a little bit there. Come on, cave spiders, you can actually do it. We're actually rolling for you this time. That's another one down. Enderman's still doing a little good so far. He might actually be winning though. Ah, yeah, he did. Okay. So yeah, this was an early round, so he still managed to win against all the cave spiders at the moment. Obviously, he does get poisoned, but he actually doesn't die from the poison, because that's obviously what happens if a mob gets poisoned. So yeah, the Enderman does actually survive this round, but not for long, since I'm thinking that the cave spiders might get quite a few wins later on in this episode. So it is 1-0 for the Llano Enderman. And actually, yeah, the Llano Enderman's only appearance in Season 1 so far, so yes. But anyways, it's now time for our second round of the episode. Here's, of course, round 2. Alright, so on to round 2 now. On Llano, as usual, we have 2 Endermen with 40 health points each, that's 80 health points total. And yes, do remember that the Enderman and the cave spiders don't have any natural variants, so yeah, this will just be a basically regular team battle throughout the whole episode, so yes. Thank you for that, and they're going to go against on Ecru, a slightly larger team here. We have 7 cave spiders with health points each, so that is 84 health points total. Alright, thank you for that. It is now time to begin our second round of this gigantic battle episode, because that's what Hereby called it. In 3, 2, 1, and fight, let's go. We have 2 Endermen now. So basically double numbers. Oh, they already defeated one of the cave spiders, okay then. They got 2, that's 3. They are still hitting them at least. That's 4, number 5, okay. We have 2 1 here, number 6, and there we go. Yeah, still on early rounds, so yeah, so the cave spiders still can't defeat any Endermen at the moment, so both of them still managed to survive for Llano here. So yeah, it is 2-0 now for the Llano Enderman, but that might be changing once the cave spiders might be getting into bigger colonies, so yeah, in the later rounds. Anyways, it's now time for our third round, of course. Here's round 3. Okay, so moving on to round 3 now. On Llano, we have 3 Endermen as usual with 40 health points each, so that is 120 health points total. And then they're going to go against on Ecru. We actually have the same amount of health points. We have 10 cave spiders with 12 points each, so that's also 120 total. So basically every 3 rounds, the cave spiders will be in a number that's like a more of 10 basically. So yeah, round 6 we'll have 20 cave spiders, and then round 9 is going to have 30 cave spiders, which will make it the new record for like the most mobs in a single team yeah, after Spider vs Enderman, so yeah. Anyways, over to you here, Brian. Okay, thank you for that. It is now time to begin our third round. It's already going big at the moment since we already have 10 cave spiders, so yeah. Well, we'll just have to see who wins. I'm actually rooting for the Enderman this time since they already have a 2 streak at the moment. Anyways, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. And here we go, fight. Okay, we got 3 of these guys. This is a whole 10 cave spiders. See if they are actually starting to hit them a little bit. There goes another one. They got 2 and 3. Okay, only 5 to go now. Watch out. Will we actually defeat one of the Endermen here? Oh no, that's a double kill. And all of them still managed to survive at the moment. We are still on an early round, so yeah. This is only round 3, so yeah, all the Endermen are still surviving at the moment, so yes. So anyways, it is 3-0 now, currently on a free streak for the Llano Enderman. Anyways, it's now time for our second class round of the first half. Here is round 4. Alright, it's already time for our second class round of the first half. Wow, this episode's already been going quick. Here's round 4. On Llano, we have 4 Endermen with 40 health points each, so that's 160 health points total, as usual for the Endermen. And then we're going up against, on Ecru, we have a slightly lesser health point team, 13 cave spiders with 12 points each. This is as close as we can actually get to 160 for those guys, so 156 health points total. However, both teams actually do have the same power, so yeah, it doesn't really matter who would actually win at the moment. I'm rooting still for Enderman though. Yeah, actually same for me. Anyways, it is now time for our 4th round and our second last round of the first half of this episode. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. And here we go. We have a lot of these guys already. We got 4 Endermen fighting them, so yeah. I'm still rooting for the Endermen, obviously, since they're on a free streak, but yeah. Don't know if the cave spiders will ever defeat any Endermen today, but yeah. They might even get a full-on perfect win. You can see they are defeating lots of cave spiders at the moment. One of them went on top of the arena. Okay then. Alright, so yeah, they're still doing flawless at the moment, so all 4 of the Endermen still survive at the moment, so yeah, good job for Llano at the moment. At least they are advantaging here for their total ranking in the final episode. Yeah, more on that later on, but it is 4-0 for the Llano Endermen, so now it's time for the finale of the first half. Here's of course, round 5. Okay, so it's now time for the end of the first half, of course. Here is round 5. On Llano, we have 5 Endermen with 40 health points each, so that is 200 health points total. And then they're going to go against, on Ecru, another giant team for the cave spiders. We have 17 this time, all with 12 health points each, so that is 204 health points total. And do keep this in mind, this will be our final round where we'll be tagging the cave spiders, because obviously there's going to be way more cave spiders than in the previous cave spider episodes for the second half, so yeah. And we don't really want to tag all of them because it'll basically take a bit too long, so yeah. So this will be our final round where we'll be tagging the cave spiders separate, and then starting round 6 we'll not be tagging them, and yeah. It's very close, well, yeah, they don't have any natural variants anyway, so yeah. Anyways, 204 health points total for the Ecru cave spiders. Okay, thank you for that. It is now time for the end of the first half, and it's already a big fight anyway. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. And let's go. Look at the ball. Only one came late. And that's our first late case fight of the episode, but okay then. As you can see, they are actually bunching up on these Endermen here. I know they do, but yeah. They are starting to defeat some of the case spiders though, so yeah, they might be outnumbered. Alright. Case spiders are doing a little good so far at the moment, but yeah. We'll just have to see if they... Oh, there we go. They actually did defeat an Enderman. I was literally gonna say we'll have to see if they can defeat an Enderman this round, and actually they did. So this time, 4 Endermen survived out of 5. So yeah, so this does prove that the Endermen still do win, even though one of them can get defeated still. So yeah, so I'm rooting for a perfect win for the Enderman, even though it won't be a platinum trophy now. So yeah, so it's 5-0 for the Llano Enderman. So yes. So, it is now time to begin our second half of the episode. Here's, of course, round 6. Alright, it's now time to begin, of course, our second half in round 6. On Llano, we have 6 Endermen with 40 health points each. They seem to be all on our Llano, that's kind of weird. But anyways, that's 240 health points total for the Llano Enderman. And then they're going to go against on Ecru. Once again, this is round 6. So yeah, every 3 rounds the case spiders are in the 10s here. So this time we have 20 case spiders with 12 points each. So once again, that's the same amount of health points at 240 for Ecru. Okay, thank you for that. It is now time for the start of our second half, and we're once again doing with big battles again, because obviously we're at 20 case spiders again. They're only fighting against 6 Endermen, which are of course stronger than them, so yeah. Anyways, we'll just have to find out who wins again. I'm still rooting for the Endermen in 3, 2, 1. And let's go. Wow, that's a mosh pit of case spiders right there. Once again, another late guy, unfortunately, but yeah. Yeah, let's see if I can actually kill one of these Endermen this time. Otherwise, I might get another flawless win here. We'll just have to find out. And it looks like Ecru, it looks like Llano is actually going to get another flawless win here. It looks like. I don't know. And yes, I was right. So all 6 Endermen still managed to survive this round. So yeah, obviously I am voting for a perfect scoring win for the Enderman here at 10-0. So yeah, it looks like the case spider's crown is still going to get stolen at the moment. Yeah. So 6-0 for the Llano Enderman. So yeah, it's now time for our 4th last round of the episode, of course. Here is round 7. Alright, so already now time for our 4th last round in round 7. On Llano, we have 7 Endermen with 40 health points each, so that is of course 280 health points total. And then they're going against on Ecru. Once again, another huge team for the case spiders. We have 23 this time with 12 points each, 226 health points total. Also, yeah, I think we've actually never gone into the 20 for the case spiders, so yeah, this is basically, yeah, new record for like, this amount of case spiders now, so yeah, and obviously this will go up to in the 30s after like round 10 basically, so yeah. But anyways, over to you here, Ryan. Okay, thank you very much. It's now time for our 4th last round, of course. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, and fight. Right. Let's see if the case spiders can actually kill some enemies. I don't know. Yeah, they're definitely a case spider pit at the moment. Watch out, Enderman. Still rooting for you though, because obviously you're still the winners at the moment. Yeah, case spiders haven't even gone at any points, so that crown might still be stolen by you. Same goes for the spiders and the Zed piglins. Yeah, watch out. Okay, so yeah, the Endermen are still flawless at the moment. So yeah, they're kind of acting like the Zombified piglins really, since they're like pretty strong as well against weaker mobs. So yeah. I remember the Zombified piglins did get a couple of platinum trophies in like their spotlight episode, I think. So yeah, so basically the Endermen are still acting like vermin at the moment. So yeah, they're kind of like impersonating their like movement control. I don't know, but yeah. Anyways, it's 7-0 for Llano Enderman now. So it's now time for of course I meant for our 1st last round. Here it is. Here's round 8. Okay then, it is now time for our 1st last round in round 8, and this will also bring us a new record for like the most mobs in a single team for Ecru, but we'll talk about that very shortly. So on Llano, we have 8 Endermen with 40 health points each, so it's 320 health points total for them. And then going up against on Ecru, we have a new record for the most mobs in a single team here, even off the same type here. 27 case spiders with 12 points each, so 324 health points total. So yeah, last time when this happened, it was 25 regular spiders and 5 Endermen, but now we've reached over 25 now. So yeah, we're at 27, and this will happen 2 more times over. So yeah, we'll be getting into the 30s as well because of this. So yeah, so that's 324 health points total for the Ecru case spiders. Okay, thank you for that. It is now time for our 1st last round and our biggest battle yet for one of the teams anyway. So yeah, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. And let's go. Here we go. We have an army of case spiders. They had the same power at the moment for a second, but now they're not, because obviously they're streaking and killing case spiders to the end of it here, yeah. Wow, that's definitely a pit of them. I don't want to be Enderman as well confused by some of the case players right there. That might be an advantage for those guys. I don't know if one of the Endermen will still get defeated, but yeah, it looks like they won't. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, once again, the whole team on Llano has still survived because, yeah, the Endermen do seem to be acting like the zombie pagans here, because obviously the zombie pagans do good for their teams, really, because obviously they still do flaws on, like, most rounds from their spotlight episodes, basically, so yeah. So it is 8-0 now for Llano Enderman, so yeah, on the verge of a perfect scoring win at the moment, so yeah. But anyways, right now, though, it's time for our second last round. Here is round 9. Alright, it's now time for our second last round in round 9. On Llano, we have 9 Endermen with 40 points each, so that's 360 points total for the Llano Endermen. And then they're going against on Ecru, our first team to be in the 30s. Yes, 30 case buyers with 12 points each. So that means it's also 360 points total, since obviously this is round 9 and all that, so yeah. So this is our last appearance of the case buyers, which being in 10s, basically, so yeah. So yeah, makes it 30 case buyers now, so yeah. First ever team to be in the 30s for their numbers. Okay, thank you guys. Now time for our gigantic round for our second to last round as well. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Looks like the zombie pagans in the crowd on once we got there, because obviously this isn't like second episode, yeah. Oh man, it only happens when the pagans are actually in the battle, but yeah. Anyways, yeah. They are defeating some of the case fighters here. Yeah, you might be streaking here. Yeah, I see a few streak. Come on, Enderman. Yeah, this is just for the team scoring and all that. Perfect win here. Yes, okay. So yeah, they are still going flawless at the moment, because obviously their skills in the battles at the moment, so yeah. They're basically just acting like there's a pigments overall, really, so yeah. So yeah, all the Endermen still survived again, so that makes it 9-0 for Llano Endermen, so yeah. One more round and then it'll probably be a perfect win again, so yeah. Anyways, speaking of which, it's now time for our final round of the episode. Here is round 10. Alright, it is time for the moment we've all been waiting for. It's time for our final round of the episode, of course. Here is round 10. On Llano, we have 10 Endermen with 40 health points each, so that is 400 health points total. And then they're going to go against on Ecru, another new record here, 33 case fighters with 12 points each. So yeah, that's the closest we can get to 400 here. So 396 health points total, and yeah, and this will be our final cap for our new records here for season 1, of course. So yeah, we've reached 33 for our current record of like the most mobs of the same type to be in the team. So yeah. Okay, thank you for that. It is now time to begin our final round of the episode, and then after this we'll be showing you how we're going to be doing our final episode, which will be episode 30, which will of course be our next episode, so yeah. Anyways, here we go, in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Okay, let's see if the Enderman can actually win this once and for all here, because the case wise haven't really been defeating any of them, yeah, because of a strategic plan to fight them, as you can see here. Wow. Look at them all go. It's only 20 left, actually, yeah. Actually, I don't know. They might be able to defeat one of them. I don't know if they can, but yeah. Oh, no. It's... Oh, okay, they actually did defeat. Looks like 2 of them, actually, huh? Nice. Or was it 3, actually? I don't know if it was. Let me just check. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, okay, so they actually defeated 3 Endermen this time. That's a little different. So we actually never got a battle with 2 Enderman defeats. We just get straight to 3, I guess. So, yeah, only 7 Endermen survived. So, yeah, this means 4 of them did get defeated overall in this episode. So it's 10-0, which means the Endermen have... Well, I meant the Endermen have won the episode. So, yes, so, yeah. Perfect scoring win for the Endermen. However, it's not a full-on perfect win because 4 of the Endermen did manage to get defeated during this episode. So, yeah, so only 51 of the 55 Endermen did manage to survive this episode. So, yeah. And yes, those are actually making the only Enderman survivors to be for Llano, because obviously this is the only episode with the Enderman being on Llano anyways, so yes. Okay, so before we end this episode, here's how we're going to do episode 30, which will be coming next Friday, so yes. So since this is going to be a big episode, we are planning on filming the episode on Wednesday, actually, so that we can actually have some more time on editing the episode, which will be later on Wednesday, and then also on Thursday as well, before we can actually release this episode on Friday. And also, this episode will be... battle power based and not health point based, because during our original testing for episode 30 we found out that Llano's teams are much weaker than Ecru's teams, so yeah, that's why we decided to go for a team power based episode for episode 30 instead. And obviously after that, yeah, after all the main 10 rounds there's going to be the ranking as well, so yeah. of like the final tallying, and it's going to be by how many mobs survived for each team, like each team's mob, and also by how many points on the battle score they got. We were actually going to do by team scoring, however that would have been a bit too complicated, so yeah, that's why we're going to be doing it by the amount of mob survivors and also for the battle score too. So yeah, it's basically just going to be a double whammy, so yeah. Alright, so yeah, we hope you enjoy episode 30, which is coming on next Friday, and that's it from this episode of Minecraft Series Rebooted. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Enderman, or yeah, this episode in Enderman vs. Cave Spider. And yes, this has been our second to last episode as well. And obviously, episode 30 is going to be Zombie, Skeleton, Creeper, and Spider. They're all going to be on Llano against the Zombie, Vegan, Enderman with a Skeleton, and Cave Spider, all on Ecru. So it's going to be a massive 4v4 match. So do stay tuned for episode 30 coming up on next Friday, the 4th of September, on the CBT channel as well, CBT Night, OC Network, and of course here on the YouTube channel as well, CS. And that is it for me, your co-host OC Vlog, and your host here, Ryan. Thank you for watching, and once again, we'll see you again next time here on Minecraft Mob Battles, the Series Rebooted.